right, guys, welcome back to another video. Obviously, this whole week is about Starfield. I mean, we're going to be talking about Starfield almost every day as more information comes out leading up to the release. I can't wait. I have the Constellation Edition coming. I will be doing an unboxing, so keep your eyes open for that. There already is somebody who got it early, I guess, and did an unboxing, has shown off the chrono mark and the watch and everything that goes along with it. I haven't watched those because I don't want to spoil the magic for myself, but Starfield is going to be a generational game. It's the feeling I'm getting as we get closer and closer to the launch, and we have some more info here and just how well it's already selling and some other stuff here in terms of apps that are available. The day one patch is available down, so we'll just go over all that right now as we get closer to the launch. So first of all, Starfield on Steam. We know Baldur's Gate 3 sold insanely well, and it was a game that I think it's great that it sold well because it's showing that you don't need to release the broad type of similar style of game that will reach the most amount of people. Baldur's Gate 3 came out, obviously is more of a niche style of RPG with the rolling of the dice. Not everybody is going to be interested in that type of combat, that type of gameplay, and it's still sold so well. And it's signaling to developers that you can go out and create different styles of games and people will go out and play them and buy them. I think that's great. Now, Starfield has officially surpassed Baldur's Gate 3. It is now the #1 on Steam in terms of top sellers, and the game hasn't even been released yet. This is all pre-sale stuff. Now, to be fair, it is $10 more because this is in revenue dollars. This is the top 100 selling games right now by revenue, but still, the fact that this game hasn't even come out yet and it's already surpassed Baldur's Gate 3, which sold insanely well, is showing you how big of a game this is going to be and how well this is going to sell. And it is going to be selling so well, and Microsoft knows this, that they have gone ahead again and changed their Xbox Game Pass trial thing here, where they had the $1 trial for a very long time, then they took it away, and then it came back for a little bit, and it is now gone again ahead of the Starfield release. So it makes sense. They know that they don't need to have the $1 trial for people to sign up and play Starfield. It will be super interesting to see the influx of gamers who sign up to Game Pass to play this game, both on PC and on the Xbox itself. I think this will be a great case test as to how a first-party ecosystem exclusive can really help boost the ecosystem in terms of subscribers and subscription numbers. Yes, it's going to push consoles as well, but with Xbox's strategy with subscription and being able to play wherever you want, I feel like for them, that is far more important right now, is seeing how Starfield is going to affect the amount of people that do sign up to Xbox Game Pass. But the $1 deal is now gone. So if you are not subscribed to Game Pass and you're looking at Starfield, you're getting excited about it, you're going to have to go ahead and pay that full price for the subscription, which is still an incredible deal. It is still by far the best deal in gaming, whether you're on PC Game Pass, console Game Pass, or on Game Pass Ultimate. The amount we are paying right now for the amount of content and games that we get, especially if you look forward to more games coming out in the future. You look at a game like Sea of Stars, which just reviewed extremely well. If you like JRPGs, I'm actually very excited for that one. Unfortunately, it's coming out days before Starfield's release, so I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to sink a bunch of time into it. These are all day one games into the service. The value for Xbox Game Pass is immense, and I don't think anybody is going to be too sad if they're paying $10 to $15 to sign up to Game Pass just to play Starfield. They will see that there's a bunch of other stuff that they're going to want to play and then probably stay subscribed even after they have finished Starfield. The thing with Starfield is that it's such a big game. If you're signing up to Game Pass, you're going to be subscribed for a very long time if you want to get the full experience. This isn't going to be a 1 month thing. This is going to be potentially multiple months, maybe even a year thing to get the full experience with everything that is going to be out there with Starfield. Now, one of the coolest things I think is the Chrono Mark watch that comes with the Constellation Edition. I love collector's editions like this. There's not too much bloat in this collector's edition. It is simply the code. There's some other smaller things, but the main feature is a legitimate watch, a legitimate smartwatch here that can actually be paired now with this app that is available to download, which is the Starfield Watch, where you're going to be able to utilize this watch in game. You can see here the different settings, the notifications, all of that type of stuff, music, the daily step count target. So it literally can be used as a smartwatch for your daily use when you're going on runs, going on walks, all of that type of stuff. So it's super, super cool. I love this type of stuff. I love the case that it comes in. It looks premium. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And the app is actually available right now to download on Android and iOS. And I'm very excited to see just exactly how this affects the experience in Starfield. What type of things will keep you more immersed when you do have the watch on versus not having the watch on? I'm sure it's not going to be too much because it's only going to be a finite amount of people that do pick up the Constellation Edition, but I love this type of stuff. I mean, Bethesda is known for this. We've seen this with Fallout as well. I love how they're doing this. Now, we have seen previously, actually yesterday I talked about it, that Starfield is looking like the least buggy Bethesda release. And I think you can credit Xbox for this. I think you can credit the fact that they allowed them to go ahead with this delay for the game, pushing it to September 6th, 2023, to essentially polish it and make sure that it does come out in the best state possible. We've seen, I guess, people kind of going over the NDA to state that they've experienced almost no bugs in hours of gameplay. And I think that's a phenomenal thing. One thing people are also saying is that they have experienced no bugs without the day one patch, and that the day one patch is already set to fix some of the bugs that have been found. And that day one patch is actually available right now to go ahead and preload and download so that when this game launches, you can jump right in. The update sizes here for the Xbox Series X are 15.48 gigabytes, and for the PC are 13.4 gigabytes. And the total size on the Xbox Series X is 101.1 gigabytes. So yeah, it's a big game. There are bigger games out there in terms of download sizes, but you'll have to have a nice chunk of your hard drive dedicated to Starfield for the foreseeable future, especially when there's DLC and maybe there's more updates and all of that type of stuff. So the day one patch is ready to go, which gives me the thought that when we are jumping into this game at the end of the week, there will be essentially almost no bugs or any game-breaking things that the majority of people are going to run into. And I think that is going to be a great experience for a generational RPG from Bethesda, and kind of a switch from generally how they release their games, where there are bugs and they go ahead and fix them as we go along through the release timeframe and all of that. So I can't wait and happy to see this. Now, here is something that I found cool to see, and something we would have never seen years ago. And I think this is a testament to how Xbox has grown in trying to reach more people in other parts of the world. I think it's a testament to Phil Spencer's work, as this is something he talked about at the beginning of this generation with the Xbox Series X and S, is trying to get bigger in places like Japan, trying to be top of mind. Whereas really right now, and when the Xbox Series X and S launched, they aren't there yet, but they are doing better, especially when we've seen things like the Xbox Showcase with the Persona games coming over to Xbox Game Pass, the brand new Atlas game that was announced at an Xbox Showcase. Nobody would have expected that years ago. And here is another thing that I think a lot of people probably wouldn't have expected years ago, and that is that Atlas put out this tweet. They say, attending PAX West 2023, lead the change in our Hunt for Hearts show floor activity and earn awesome Persona 5 Tactica themed prizes, along with the chance to win a brand new Xbox Series X consoles while supplies last. More details on the prizes and how to enter below. So they are doing a giveaway specifically for the Xbox console for a Persona game. And it makes sense now, after what we have seen, that this game is coming to Game Pass day one, a partnership, a deal that I think is a great deal to grow in Japan, to grow in places where Xbox doesn't have a huge market share. And just overall, it's a great game that to be coming over to the platform and to Game Pass day one. So much so that they are even doing this giveaway here where people are, their eyes are going to be on Xbox, and they're going to think Persona 5 Tactica, and they're going to think Xbox. And thinking Persona and Xbox as the first console for this game is something that I never expect to see. So I think that's a testament of the great work that Phil Spencer and Xbox have been doing to grow with getting more genres, more styles of games onto the platform, making them the first place that people are going to think about when playing these games. Now, let's talk about this, because I thought this was a great tweet that it goes really to show how Bethesda, with this game, all of the stuff we're seeing so far that has come out that is trying to reduce the hype for it is just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense in terms of people trying to bring down Starfield before it does get released. And we're going to see more of this after the release. You're going to see a bunch of stupid fanboy stuff, even if this game is as incredible as people are expecting it. But this is a tweet here from Rebs Gaming saying, FYI, as Bethesda already announced, 10% of the planets in Starfield have life and multiple biomes for realism. The remaining planets are barren, and the game informs you if the planet is barren next to type barren. Planets still have some resources and items to collect. So we've been seeing a lot of videos of the guy running across the planet with nothing being there and people jumping on it and getting on the fact that there are barren planets and thinking that Bethesda lied about this and they didn't make a high quality game because the planet is barren. It's absolutely absurd, as they previously already told us. There are going to be lots of barren planets. I mean, over 1,000 or 1,000 planets, whatever it is, with procedural generation. A lot of them are going to be used to go out there, collect resources, maybe build a base on that planet if you want to, and just kind of expand the entire universe. And probably stuff like that is also going to be used for modders and modders creating their stories and the different types of planets that they want. All of this stuff is a universe that isn't going to be filled with the insane RPG stuff, NPCs, buildings, cities that Bethesda has built up for the single player experience with the main quests and the side quests. And they told us all about this previously, that 10% of those planets, 100 plus, are going to be filled with a lot of stuff, which I think is still, it's an insane amount of content. It's still a ton of content to be able to go out and explore. And they are very clear when other planets are barren. And I mean, this is realistic because the majority of planets out there in real life are barren. There isn't stuff to be running through. So I don't think this is an issue at all. So all of these videos that we are seeing of the character running across a barren planet, running into boundaries, these are essentially hit campaigns to try to make Starfield worse than it's potentially going to end up being. Now, I haven't played the game, but from things that I'm hearing, the game is going to be incredible. So that's why I don't expect this to have any impact on the actual enjoyment of the game. These are things that really aren't negatives to the overall experience. These are things that aren't going to affect having fun in Starfield, aren't going to affect your exploration, aren't going to affect really anything. But I mean, we could see what happens when the reviews come out, when you play it for yourself, because the reviews are going to be potentially mixed. Who knows? But one thing with the reviews is that this is such a big game. I believe that to get a true understanding of if this is a great game or not, is somebody would have had to put in hundreds or at least 100 hours or so and experience all of the different mechanics and all of the different organic things that will occur within Starfield. If a reviewer comes out and literally has just played through the main campaign, that review is kind of useless in my opinion. But the stuff here where we've seen the barren planets, it's really just to try to bring down Starfield. Now, next thing I do want to talk about here that isn't Starfield is the Lenovo Legion Go. And reason I talk about this stuff is because I think this is an industry, a side of gaming right now, that has greatly expanded. Steam Deck came out and showed the video game industry that handheld PC gaming is here, and it's here to stay. People want it. People like it. People will go out and purchase these devices. We've seen the Steam Deck. We've seen the Asus ROG Ally. We've seen the Logitech Cloud stuff. And all good devices all have their different use cases, some more powerful than the others. I currently have a Steam Deck, and I think it is a great device. I'm not ready to upgrade to the Asus yet or to a more powerful device yet, but the one that has caught my eye that would I potentially consider would be this Lenovo Legion Go, which has been leaked. We pretty much know everything about it if these leaks are true. And this is the picture of it here. There's other pictures showing that the actual controllers are detachable, essentially exactly like the Nintendo Switch, which is a feature that I do very much like. And now we have gotten a leak here for specs and the launch date and price. So it says here that it appears that the Windows 11 powered handheld PC will be unveiled on September 1st. So again, right around the corner, ready for a commercial launch in October. And when it does launch, it will be $799, which is pricey, especially when you're comparing it to something like the Steam Deck. But this is the reason why it's going to be $800. They say here that it has a 8.8 inch screen, which is bigger than the Steam Deck, bigger than the Asus ROG Ally, and bigger than the Nintendo Switch OLED. I mean, the Switch OLED is kind of in a different class in terms of power, but still has that 7-inch screen. And then on top of that, it seems like this is going to be the most powerful handheld gaming PC, saying that it's sporting an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme processor, 16 gigabytes of 7500 megahertz RAM, to 1 terabyte of NVMe M2 storage, and a large capacity battery capable of super rapid charge functionality. Now, one of my biggest gripes with these devices is the battery life and how long you can actually play games. Like, for example, with my Steam Deck, if you're playing a AAA game, you're getting maybe 2 hours of battery life if the game is downloaded and running natively on it. And I feel like that is where a lot of these devices need to improve, because a 2-hour session with a lot of these big games isn't very much. It really kind of locks you in to barely being able to take these devices on the go. You're going to have to be near an outlet. Maybe you're going to have to play with it plugged in, which kind of destroys the whole point of having a handheld PC, which is the portability of it. So when they say here, when we see these specs here, my first thing that comes to mind is, what's that battery life like? Is it going to be better than 2 hours? And it will be very interesting. I feel like it probably won't be that much better. And they do say here that their super rapid charge functionality kind of hints at the fact that they know that the battery isn't going to last very long. But hey, it's okay. You can charge it extremely fast and get right back on the go, which still doesn't really solve that problem. So I think that is the next step with these handheld PC devices. It's just getting better battery life out of them to make the portability aspect more useful. But that's it for me, guys. I'm going to leave the video there. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.